Hi, welcome to Reddit Tea Time. Hi, so obviously this is not your traditional relationship problem, but it is causing enormous strain on our relationship currently and making me consider leaving for the first time ever. Bit of backstory. My husband and I have been together for 9 years, married for 5. I've never stopped loving him. He's an incredible guy, sexy, great personality, ambitious. I've always been so grateful for being able to find this type of amazing person and never once questioned, is this relationship the right thing to do? This is to say, I've always known that I love this guy. Seemingly the one problem my husband has is that he has terrible foot pain. I'm talking the works: Morton's neuroma, plantar problems, early arthritis. He's athletic and loves sports more than anything, yet his feet are constantly mangled and swollen, and he's in frequent pain and sometimes can't even stand for a whole weekend. He has the routines and the stretching and the medical, orthopedics, and podiatrist on speed dial, but it's a constant battle for him. So about 3 months ago, my husband revealed something to me that shocked me to my core. He sat me down, was trembling a bit and visibly nervous, and told me that he had weighed a significant amount of options and done a lot of research and wanted to amputate his feet by 2024. He admitted he's pretending to have a condition called body integrity identity disorder on weird forums online, reached a doctor in Asia that's willing to do amputations on people that want them, and has a plan outlined for where he wants it cut under the knee, what he wants his recovery plan to look like, what prosthetic he thinks he would prefer, and even what his medical insurance plan will be next year. We had massively long conversations about this, but ultimately, he made it clear that this is something he feels he needs to do to live a healthy and fulfilling life. He wants nothing more than for me to stay with him despite this insanity, but he also understands if it's all just too much for me. That really sucks because honestly, this is just not ideal and a bit too crazy for me. But I have nothing to compare it to. It's not like many other ladies face this problem. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I've been weighing it very closely the last few months. He's amazing. I would do almost anything to stay with him, but this feels like an extremely ridiculous scenario that is very jarring coming from an otherwise extremely reasonable and intelligent guy. He's not the type to make empty commitments or half-ass a plan. I do think he'll go through with that, but this sort of upends everything I ever thought about us as a couple. We were the reasonable fun couple that had their stuff together, not the couple where the guy gets his legs chopped off in Asia by some sketchy doctor. And I think that's my problem. It's obviously one thing if he loses a leg to medical problems or to a war, but if he's just jetting over to Asia to willingly get them chopped off, it just seems a bit too much. So I know it's weird, but honestly, what do you think? Am I just being extra thinking about walking away due to this despite knowing he's the love of my life? Now for some comments. A lot of people post-amputation are in chronic pain, phantom limb, issues with prosthetics, issues with amputation sites, etc. He should look into this. He could end up just trading one kind of pain for another, and one that is possibly worse. There are many options for alternative treatment. My girlfriend is responding to cold laser therapy. I don't know how or why it would work, but finally seeing positive results after months of being wheelchaired with no improvement. He should exhaust all alternatives before looking at a one-way possible fix as radical as amputation. So, Morton's neuroma and plantar issues can 100% be alleviated or resolved via surgery. Why hasn't he looked into that and is going straight nuclear with amputations? There are a bunch of interventions that can be done for neuropathies and similar issues. So, as someone who has chronic foot and ankle pain that leaves me debilitated like your husband, I can see where he's coming from. It's something that's constantly on my mind. Doing anything causes pain. It's a hard thing to learn to ignore. I'm almost 30 and I absolutely hate knowing that it's already this bad and it will only get worse for the rest of my life. During some surgeries on my ankle, I was told I might lose my foot and my answer was good. A few years later, post all of my hospital stuff, I'm glad it didn't happen. Having prosthetics aren't any less painful from what I hear. But yeah, that sort of pain is absolutely miserable and I hate it every single day of my life. On a different note, I gotta think his insurance company will have a major problem with him voluntarily cutting off his legs and then trying to get them to pay for recovery or prosthetics. In fact, I'd be surprised if they don't drop him immediately after finding out what he did. It may help to approach it from a more practical perspective like this. I want to preface this by saying that my husband has autism, his best female friend has ADHD, and I suffer from childhood trauma and depression. My husband and I have been married for almost 2 years now, together for 4. He met his current best female friend at work. They've been friends for about 4 months now. She has lived a sheltered life because her family is extremely religious, so they homeschooled her and she didn't go to college. She's still very childish and doesn't know how to be a functioning adult, especially since she still lives at home with her parents and they control almost her entire life. My husband felt badly for her because no one in their department can stand her, so he's taken her under his wing and she never leaves his side. I started working at my husband's company 3 months ago in a different department from the 2 of them, which was when I met her. My husband really wanted the 2 of us to be friends, so he volunteered me to teach her how to drive. He doesn't have his license, and made us all hang out once, if not twice a week, in addition to all of our breaks at work. For the past month, she's also been staying with us 3 to 4 nights a week. Not really a decision I was included in, but instead informed it was happening. On the living room couch bed so we can drive her to work. Her mother is disabled and her father has a new job, so he can't drive her most days. So at least 5 days out of the week every week, it's the 3 of us. Then the other 2 days, my husband and I are too tired from work and chores. At first, things were mostly fine. Some days, she's okay and will be decent towards me. However, 50 to 70% of the time, she'll glare at me, talk under her breath in response to something I said or did, interrupt me whenever I try to speak, and actively get in between my husband and me. She's extremely touchy-feely with my husband, which he claims she's like with friends, but she's not like that with me at all, a supposed friend. She also had made promises to my husband prior to her staying over she hasn't kept. She promised she'd wash any utensils or plates she used, she's done none, that she'll buy her own groceries, she buys cheese and fruit, then complains it's not enough for dinner and eats our food, and that she would just be all around respectful. Except she chucks her trash everywhere and has never cleaned any of it up, neither has my husband, so it's been my job. My husband thinks I'm overreacting and that all of her behavior is innocent, and I'm just viewing it through a malicious lens. He says there's no way it's malicious because she tells him how much she likes me and how much she enjoys spending time with both of us, even though she never likes spending time with other women. Regardless, sometimes he claims he doesn't see the behavior that happens literally right next to him. Other times after the fact, he'll say he had noticed how she was acting towards me, but didn't know how to do anything about it, so did nothing. He initially thought a few weeks ago it could have been malicious, but since he's found out she has ADHD and treats other people in their department similarly horribly, he thinks it's just because she's mentally ill and I need to accept that. None of this behavior has ever been directed at him, though, and he made sure to tell me he's never had any negative interactions with her. Funnily enough, he said that while we were having an argument about her impact on me, which really hurt. I keep trying to be her friend. I go out of my way whenever I can to get things for her, to help her feel comfortable at our apartment, to listen to her problems and offer advice when I can. I'm doing literally everything I can to be her friend. Some days it's okay and I think we're making progress. And then the next day I'm treated like I don't even exist or that my existence is literally the bane of hers. It's killing me. It's driving me insane. It's making me feel bad because my apartment doesn't feel like my home anymore. My husband and I fight almost every day. I have to see her all the time, and I'm in a constant state of unbearable stress. I've talked to my husband on how emotionally draining this is and how bad it's making me feel, but he doesn't get it. He's continued to try and force us to be friends by making us spend more time together. He continues to say he'll find a way to fix this because he doesn't want to have to choose between us. For the past month, I've had to force myself to be around her just so I can actually spend time with my husband. I've told him how I don't understand why this is such an issue for him. If I had a friend treat him like she's treating me, I wouldn't want them as a friend. I've talked about how I don't understand how a friend he's had for 4 months who treats me like ish is being treated equally to me, his wife, the supposed love of his life. I'm losing my mind and I don't know what to do. How can I get my husband to understand how seriously this is affecting both me and our marriage? Now for some comments. He doesn't want to have to choose between us. I'm sorry. He doesn't want to have to choose between his wife and someone he's known for 4 months? I read it as this. Your husband has a giant emotional affair in front of you, moves her in without asking you, and then says he can't choose between the 2 of you. That is also choosing her. Set a boundary, and if he doesn't adhere, follow through on the consequences. I would kick them both out. Don't be a doormat. Stand up for yourself and make it clear that you don't want her in your home anymore. Trying to be friends with her is a huge waste of your time and mental energy. She's made it clear that she doesn't respect you and is after your man. This is not someone you want to be friends with. She needs to get the hell out of your house and give you your personal space. If your husband has a problem with that, break up with his sorry self. I'm autistic and my girlfriend has ADHD. This has nothing to do with mental illness or neurodivergency. 2 weeks ago, I broke up with my then fiancé just 3 weeks before we were going to marry. She was abusing me mentally with things like silent treatment, was ungrateful for many things I bought, like a kitchen I paid $9 grand for, and generally just never wanted to talk about reasons we argued, instead putting all blame on me and never giving me a reason why she claims that. I just couldn't hold it in anymore after our last big argument and after being ignored for 3 to 4 more days even though I was in the right, and even then tried making up, but her reaction was telling me to F off and delete her number before texting me I was a disgusting being. I decided to end everything. It wasn't an easy decision, but day after day, I felt more confident and I'm feeling really good about my decision. Now, the problem starts a week after the breakup. Her friends are calling me, her aunts. She herself contacts me via email, and first I tried telling them that it's over in a friendly manner and that I don't have any bad feelings for any of them, but after they kept pressuring me to think about my decision, I blocked them all on everything. Or so I thought. Yesterday, she texted me via email again from a different address this time, telling me that she loves me more than her life and that she was hospitalized and feel really bad and that I should please give her another chance. I blocked her. Now, after going to work in the morning today, someone called me at work and it was her best friend who tried to bring me back to her, telling me that she has a surgery today and that she prays and hopes every day I come back to her. I told her that it's unfair because it's pressuring me, and it's like someone standing on a bridge and gives them the choice, either take me back or I'll jump. I told her that no matter what they say, it's over, and that they have to stop contacting me privately or at work, and hung up. Did I act right? Update. I was busy with work, so I just now opened Reddit again and was kind of surprised by all the upvotes and comments. I hope you guys won't be mad if I don't answer every single one of you, but just know that I will read every single comment, at least try it, and I'm very thankful for your words. Love to all of you. Now for some comments. You made the right decision. Don't let them wear you down. Yes, you're right. The time for change is when you're with a person not as a last-ditch effort to save a relationship. She'd likely slip back into her typical behavior once she has you ensnared again. I wouldn't believe the hospital claims either. Seems more manipulation. Do consider changing your number, email, and socials. Only allow trusted individuals to have the new information. Perhaps inform your work about these calls to not be transferred to you unless it's your parents or someone like that. Look into harassment in your area and see if you can get something started on cease and desist. Yes, you acted right. You may want to consider changing your phone number and deleting your social media. Obviously, she's desperate. At the same time, she hasn't addressed any of the real problems that were in the relationship. Getting back together would mean 2 months of a pleasant relationship before she ran out of emotional strength to force herself to act differently, and then it would degrade into what it was previously. You're under no obligation to communicate with her. Yes, you're absolutely right. Lean on your friends for support. She's an emotional blackmailer, and she's continuing her blackmail because it's the only way she knows how to get what she wants. You are not responsible for her decisions, and frankly, I think she doesn't actually care about you. She just wants to trap someone. Stand your ground, bro. You knew your worth and selected you for happiness. I'm sorry your relationship didn't work out, but we live and learn. Best of luck to you. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you liked this story and you've made it this far, please consider subscribing. I really appreciate you spending your valuable time with me. Hopefully, I'll see you in the next Reddit story. In the meantime, please take care of yourself. Bye for now.